Hi.
Hello, Mother. I think that's working. Music's so loud that's being picked up on my headset. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm not sure if my audio is working properly, but hey, Mama.
I hear music and you.
Okay, that's all that's supposed to be there, so that works perfectly. So, welcome, Mother. Welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. I know it's been delayed a little bit of time due to Bodhi being born and whatnot. So, but I'm happy to show you some more games tonight. I have a few different games that we can look at tonight. The commonality, the theme between them all is going to be space.
Yep, so. Thanks for your understanding.
Perfect. Yeah, no, so we're going to be looking at games about space. Some of them are very directly about space. Some just have space as the setting, but it's not about space at all. But that's the theme I came up with. So, the three games I'm going to show you are as follows. The first of which is going to be called Kerbal Space Program. So, Kerbal Space Program. This is a space simulation game, kind of like a NASA simulation, where you get to make rockets and other space doodads and shoot them up into space and see if they make it, or to see if you messed up and made a bad rocket and stuff like that. So their description of their game is, in Kerbal Space Program, take charge of the space program for the alien race known as the Kerbals. You have access to an array of parts to assemble fully functioning spacecraft that flies, or doesn't, based on realistic aerodynamic and orbital physics. So yeah, that's the other part of it, is that it has all the simulation, but it uses real life physics and whatnot to simulate it all. So it's actually a pretty good simulation of space and like what it actually takes to make a spaceship and make it fly and everything. So it's a fun little game to goof around in. We'd probably just try and make a rocket or two, try and shoot them off, and after we fail to give up. That's at least how I play that game. So that's option one, Kerbal Space Program. The second one is another kind of simulation type game, but this is called Universe Sandbox. And so the last game, you built the spacecrafts, sort of like NASA, and you send them off into space. This is saying, no, you're God. You can create galaxies. You can create Earths, extra moons, extra planets, whatever you want. And so their description of their game is, create and destroy on an unimaginable scale with a realistic physics-based space simulator. Explore the beauty of our universe and the fragility of our planet. Use science to bend the laws of gravity, collide planets, boil away oceans, fire epic space lasers, and customize your universe. So, yeah, this is just kind of a cool little game. A fun little side story about this game. It was released in 2015, and when it was released, I originally got it because I wanted to show Dad it because he was so into space and everything. Um, and I thought it would just be cool at some opportunity to show him this. I unfortunately didn't ever get that opportunity, so he did not get to see this. But another thing I found interesting about this game that I just learned yesterday when I was kind of preparing for all this. Whoops, sorry, I'm doing some other stuff in the background. But while I was preparing for this, they still updated this game just recently. They made an update for this game as of yesterday. So even though this game is 8 years old almost, they're still working on it and still adding new stuff to it, which is pretty cool and pretty impressive. Not a lot of companies or not a lot of people do that. So the fact that they still are is kind of impressive. So that's Universe Simulator, or Sandbox, I mean. And the last game I have that I potentially can show you is the one that's the least spacey, but it is still technically space. So this game is called Sunless Skies Sovereign Edition. So that just means it's like the fully fledged bonus edition, sort of like the director's cut of a movie. And so here, their description of their game is: sail the stars, betray your queen, murder a son. Sunless Skies is a gothic horror role-playing game with a focus on exploration and exquisite storytelling. So that's not a very good description of it, what the actual game is. That's kind of the vibe they're going for. But the way the game works is that you are basically a space trucker. We're way in the future where everyone's driving around in space, and you're the delivery man of the universe, and you pick up cargo and bring it to one place, and you pick up cargo at this place, you drop it off, and at that place that you drop it off, you meet somebody, and they have some story, and then they're like, oh, can you help me pick up this thing? And then you pick up that thing and drop it off somewhere else, and it's pretty. It's got a good story and everything, yeah, so that's just kind of the brief description of all three and how they're slightly related to space. So basically out of those three games, which one would you be most interested in playing? Again, just as a reminder, we have Kerbal Space Program, or the NASA type game. We have Sunless Skies, or the kind of like space trucker game, or Universe Simulator, which is kind of the you're God making the universe do what you want type game. And so those are your three options. So just let me know which of the three you'd be most interested in trying out. Personally, I played the Kerbal Space Program one and the Sunless Skies, the Space Trucker one. But I never actually did.
I think I'd like to see you play the Universe Sandbox game that you were going to show Dad.
Sure.
Plus, I like that it's been updated.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I don't know. I didn't look at what the update was, if it's a major one, if it's a minor one. But as I was just about to say, I actually never actually booted up the game. If I had, it would have said right here, like, playtime is this many minutes or whatever. But it turns out I bought it, never actually booted up the game, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, let's check it out together. I remember back in 2015, I was watching videos, and so back then I kind of knew what the game was like. You good with
that?
Of course.
So it'll be your first time.
Yeah, of course, Mom.
That's cool.
I'm okay with all these games. I picked them because I wanted to show something interesting, and so here we go. I'm gonna turn off the music as well. There we go. All right. So yeah, this is welcome to Universe Sandbox. It's telling us right over there. So this is our solar system. As you can see, all the different planets going around. Ooh, that's a cool shoot-in. Okay, and this is Earth. It is home to everyone you know. Let's launch Cirrus, the largest object in the asteroid belt, at Earth. Okay, so they start you out with these god powers right away. We're going to be blasting the Earth. So aim at the Earth and click Ceres. So this is my mouse cursor right here, this thing that's kind of moving around on the screen. It looks like it's a little like aiming reticle. Like if you looked down at space, if you're looking down the scope of a gun. And so to test this out, I have to click on Earth, and there it goes. I tried to land it in the ocean, and next to Australia.
Music is a little loud.
Music's a little loud, good to know. Okay, let's see if I can... Settings. Music. Let's put music down to like, I don't know, 40, and let's put the simulation up to like 60, I guess. The music still seems loud. Okay, so Earth is not doing well, as you can tell, as you can kind of see there. But regardless, let's see. I'm just gonna quick look. Since we're here, I'll check out these other. Oh, we definitely want that on. Settings really quick. It looks like they got everything pretty much right. Cool. This is really fascinating, I know, Mom. Don't worry. Oh, cool. So we can scale our user interface if we want. So if you want stuff to be bigger, let me know. I can make stuff really, really big so it's easy to see. I'll bump it up to 150. I think this will probably be pretty helpful. That's pretty impressive, honestly.
I enjoy all of it.
Most games do not have that setting. You would think that would be an easy thing to set, but from what I've read online and what I've seen, visual, text on the screen is very hard to change the size of after you've already started making a game. So, all right, I'm just gonna assume everything is, everything else I'm not gonna worry about. This is all the simulation settings, so you can make it a better simulation.
Yes, that's good, because most times I can't really read texts on the screen.
Exactly, so I bumped up to 150. If it needs to be larger, let me know, but this is already a little bit larger. But yeah, what I was looking at there were just a bunch of settings for the simulation that you can change to make it more precise if you want. So, well, we just blasted Earth because they told us to. So let's see what the next step is. So what happens?
Larger.
Larger. You still want it larger. Okay, let's go. Let's go. All right, let's go big. Where was that setting? General? Here it is. Yes. We want it to be 200. Looks like I can even make it bigger if need be, but this is very large already, so let me know if this is big enough or if you need it bigger still. So, Universe Sandbox.
Yes, that's good.
Perfect. Universe Sandbox lets you explore fantastic scenarios like what would happen if Cirrus crashed into Earth. But there are other ways we can destroy Earth too. I don't appreciate that this is how the tutorial opens. You're just bombarding Earth, but I guess they're teaching you how to do it. So let's give Earth a few moons. Okay, so we're not just destroying Earth, we're helping. I don't know if this would be helping. So to add an object to simulation, you use the Add Tool button. So down here, it has a button that says Tools. I'm going to click that. It has a bunch of options that look like they're from a phone UI or a phone. And I'm just going to click the one that says Add. Okay, so I'm have to select moons. Here's all the different types of things I can add. Some of it are behind this menu. But if we click there, you can see I can add a moon. So let's take our moon. Oh, this is showing me, like, if I click here, how big the orbit's gonna be. Kind of how elliptical. So I have to place 5 moons in close orbit around the Earth. Let's do one, like, real close. Let's do one a little bit bigger. I'm gonna try and make sure... Oh! I didn't realize it, but my moon kind of skimmed the Earth already. Ooh! Press pause! So now it's teaching me how to control time in the simulation, so if I want to pause everything, I can. And so now I have to give it 5 more moons. So now let's just...
Oh no.
I have to add more moons. Let's just keep adding moons. Okay, cool. And now I have to press play again and let the simulation run. So it turns out adding 10 moons to Earth does not work out very well, as you can kind of see. There are just 2 ways we can wreak celestial havoc on the Earth. So those are 2 things. You can also watch different scenarios play out, like 100 moons colliding the Earth and each other. So they're just kind of showing you the realm of possibilities that you can make. You can make this really weird looking, like, what happened if a million things collided, and it ends up being pretty pretty. Like, another cool thing is that they try and make this accurate. Like, so if something is red here, in theory, that's what it would kind of, the color would be from all the gases and whatnot in the real life. I don't know how precise it is, but I do know that was something they talked about. So to rotate the view, click and drag, so making sure I know how to, like, to zoom in and out, use my mouse wheel. Oh, if you get really close, you can hear it. It's quiet, but you can hear the sun sucking everything up. Alright. Let's make the Earth bigger by... I have to find the Earth. I have to select the Earth. Click the Earth. Is this the Earth? This big... Oh, I thought this was the sun. It's just been bombarded enough. It looks like the sun. Well, that's cool. So down here it shows all the different properties. Like, okay, this is how much mass it has currently, how much of a radius it has, its diameter, all that type of stuff. And so it looks like with all the stuff crashing into it, Earth has gotten a little bit bigger and a little bit wider than normal. So... and then it's struggling, since we made everything 200% larger, it's kind of struggling to get everything to fit on the screen. But down here, like, I can change the name of Earth if I wanted. I can change the weight. They're going to have me boost the radius by 2, so it's going to make it twice as big, just automatically. And so now it's twice as big, everything just gets sucked in, because it's also much more massive. And so it's just kind of teaching you, like, kind of the basics of, like, how the universe works. Big things suck in small thing. Okay. Welcome, part 2. When do I just get to shoot stuff? Like, that was what I remembered, was just, hey, you get to add stuff and do some crazy stuff. But I guess they're going through the tutorial, so... our solar system has been reset back to normal, so now all the bad stuff that happened to Earth is good again. We're all A-okay. So let's explore the importance of the sun. It's the most important source of fuel for life on Earth. What happens if we get rid of it? Now we're going to find out. So if I click Tools, one of my tools is to delete, so I can just... Let's zoom out so we can see more of the world. So there's the sun right there, right in the center. And if I just click delete, it's gone. And now everything just stops. As you can see, Earth and all the other planets just shoot off in a straight line, going whatever direction they were going. Oh, it's just gonna... Oh, Earth got freezing cold. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Look at that. We're getting ice ages all over again. Let's click. Yes! The average temperature is negative 32 degrees Celsius, which is roughly negative like 20, if I had to do mental math, is what I'd guess. So yeah, you can see the surface temperature of the Earth is very, very, very cold. Even though this looks hot, the red is negative 22. So it's showing you that everything is pretty freezing. Wow, this is very in-depth. Well, this is all cool, and I'll do this because they're telling me I have to do this tutorial type thing. Oh, close guide. Screw that. Yeah, screw the guide. I don't care anymore. Here we go. Now I just get to do whatever I want. I was going to say, this is not what I would have shown Dad. I would have just, like, done this, where I just open a new simulation. Do I get to open... Oh, let's do...
Wow,
oh, here we go.
This is very sciencey. Lots of info here. You can just go to game if you want.
Well, that's the thing, Mom. All this sciencey info stuff and yada 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 is the game. This is a nerdy game. This is not like a just a game you sit down and put on. This is a game some space science nerd would do, and this is the game. Simulating and doing all that stuff is the game. What we were just going through, that is what's called a tutorial. That's the game teaching, like, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. And if I really wanted to know the ins and outs of how to do everything, I probably would have played this. But since you and I are just kind of testing this out for the fun of it, I don't care about that. And so instead, I just had it. So this is our solar system. You can see there's the Voyager 1 spacecraft. It's flying off into space, going a million miles per hour. They have a bunch of all the random moons and stuff like that around. They have whatever Vista is. I don't even know what Vista is. But it's an asteroid orbiting the sun.
Oh, I see now what you meant about the tutorial.
Yes.
I agree. I'm enjoying watching.
Yeah, and so if me and Dad were messing with this, I would just pull this up and just kind of let him mess around with it and be like, I'm sure he'd be like, oh, check out Jupiter and all its millions of suns, because I know Dad how much he loved Jupiter. So let's try and get there. How do I move the camera? Oh, here we go. Well, it's kind of working. Okay, so where is Jupiter? Mars? Oh, there's Jupiter. Okay, so we see Jupiter.
Yes, you're so right. Smiley face.
So, yeah, so Dad would have been like, okay, go check out Jupiter, and it's 20 million moons. And he'd tell me, like, oh, go, let's hang out on... I'm looking for a name I recognize, but I don't recognize any of these. I don't know why I thought I would. Oh, let's go to Meme. There's the Meme Moon. So we're going to Meme Moon. And then we'd go, like, mess with the Meme Moon and be like, okay, well, what's happened? Let's see. The Meme Moon is currently rotating around Jupiter, so let's add some velocity. Let's shoot a rocket at it. So then I'd look for a rocket. See, Dad wouldn't tell me to do this. This is when I would come in and be like, but Dad, look, you can shoot lasers at it and you can do crazy stuff. He'd just want to, like, watch it or whatever. And I'd be like, nah. We're going to blow stuff up. See, this is why you listen to tutorial. It's because sometimes you don't know how to do stuff. So, alright, now I got myself a laser. Meme Moon, where are you? Meme Moon. What happens if we laser you? Bzz, bzz. Well, it looks like it got all real fiery. Oh. Just lasering everything. Okay, that's too small. I'm gonna not look at the Meme Moon anymore. let's see if I can get... Let's get rid of these labels because there's too much of it going on. Let's just see the orbits. Okay, that's too much. Let's just see the trails. Okay, I'm giving up on all that. We're going back to the middle of the sun. So far, the one thing I'm noticing is the camera is kind of weird and difficult to set up. But yeah, honestly, like, there's not a whole lot to this game that's like a game. Like, it's just meant to just kind of be a cool tool. Like, for example, when Bodhi starts learning about solar system in school or something like that, it's cool to be able to talk about it and have the little models and stuff like that. But what's even cooler is just to pull them into here and be like, here's what it looks like for real, and like, look how far everything is, like, and you can kind of get an idea for the scale. Because I mean, like, we feel really far away from the sun, but if you look here, Earth is that one. Oh, I should stop lasering stuff. Earth is... Alright, you know what? Actually, I'm going to do one more thing before I try and make this point. I'm going to... I'm just going to choose regular solar system. Just too much other stuff. Okay, so here it is. So, like, it's cool to be able to see, like, oh, look, this is how far Earth is from the sun. And this is, like, what our orbit looks like. And then, like... It feels like, yeah, Pluto's far, but it's fucking far. It's super far. Like, you can barely see Earth from here. Earth is like that. And Pluto's 1,000,000 miles away. I can't get to the spot where I tape. Somehow other stuff got to my screen. I'm trying to fix it, but you're talking about Bodhi and showing him things. I agree. I have no idea what you're talking about with the tape, Ma. So that's a you problem. Best of luck. But yeah, so this is just kind of the game. And realistically, my whole plan with Dad was just to kind of show it to him and just kind of let him whatever he was currently interested in. If he was interested in, like, oh, let's check out what a nebula looks like. I'm sure that they have, like, I'm sure if I went looking, I could find, like, oh, here's a supernova. Here, let's look at what a supernova looks like. It starts out like this. Oh. Alright, I'll have to help you with that next time. I guess you won't be able to type. But realistically, I was going to kind of end it pretty soon anyways. Just because, like, I don't know, we can just sit here and stare at stuff for a while, and that's cool and all, but at the same time, not a whole lot going on. But yeah, this is just kind of showing you how a supernova goes. And if you look down here, every second there's roughly 5,000 years happening. And so it just shows you what just happened. Oh, I guess it changed. But yeah, it just kind of shows you, like, this is what the Milky Way looks like, and look how pretty it is, and like all type of stuff. So I don't know, we can keep messing with stuff. We could just click on more stuff randomly. But realistically, this is just kind of the gist of it. It's not that much of a gamey game. It's more of an educational tool with game elements, almost, is how I'd describe it. But for people who are into space or just have a homework assignment they need to work on, it's a fun little thing. So I keep waiting for you to respond. I remember you can't. So yeah. If you want to keep going, let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm going to try and wrap it up there. Maybe find a pretty one to kind of leave on. Let's see, what's a cool looking planets between... let's look at this. Just, ooh, look at that. Look at that screenshot. That's a cool looking screenshot. So I think, unlike previous weeks where I always go to the stream is ending screen, I think all I'm gonna do today is... Oh, you want to keep going? Okay, never mind then. Okay. Well, you're trying to fix it. I'll just keep looking up cool simulations and see Yeah, and people have just done all this preemptively. They've gone in and made what 100 moons colliding into the Earth look like, or stuff like that. And so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just, grab someone else's. Let's see. The Milky Way and Andromeda Galaxy collision. About 4 billion years from now, our Milky Way galaxy will collide with the nearby Andromeda galaxy. This collision will result
I just kind of fixed it. At least I can type now. I think this is cool. And I agree, a good learning tool. I see what you mean about that.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's pretty useful in that regard, but I found a simulation here that's going to collide the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxy, just kind of show you what it would look like and kind of what will happen. And saying that they will merge together into a single merged galaxy. It is unlikely that any stars in the galaxies will actually collide, although some stars will likely be ejected from the combined galaxy during the merge. So even though there's thousands upon thousands of stars in each of these respective galaxies, they're so vast and so far apart from one another, they're probably actually not going to hit each other. So I'm just going to press play and just kind of let this do its thing. And so as we're watching, it just slowly, they're getting closer together, and you can see kind of the gravity pulling each other quicker and quicker and quicker. And pretty soon here we're going to have a boom collision. And now they're a single merged galaxy. And there's all the cool little planets flying out there, and like you can see some of the stuff on the bottom right getting ejected. If you really zoom in, you can see little flakes. And everything's kind of re-merging, kind of resettling, kind of spin it around, see what it looks like. It's also just kind of pretty to do stuff like this, so if you're not like super into it from a like interest or from a like ooh, I want to learn things standpoint, it's just pretty to like look at this stuff and whatnot. So what is this? Choreo? I don't know what that is. Human scale. Let's do fiction. Oh, interesting. So people have made, there's fictional planets, like for example, Land of Ice and Fire. This is the that's the Game of Thrones world. And so in their world, they have two stars orbiting each other in the center of their universe. And so, and then this is their planet orbiting it. And so it just kind of shows you.
This could be used in school.
Yeah, it probably could be. And you can find fun stuff like this. I'll tell you right now, if it was, the kids would ignore whatever the teacher was saying and go right to here where it says, where was it? Explosions. There's a tab for different types of explosions. I didn't realize my face was blocking a lot of that stuff. I'm gonna move myself bottom right. And just blow stuff up. Like for example, we can see what happens if Jupiter explodes. So boom, Jupiter explodes.
Haha, that's probably true.
And now all its moons are flying off in different directions, and things are going boom. And you get to see, like, after about 4 hours, this is what would happen, and after this many hours, this would happen. So let's speed it up. Let's go real fast. And all its moons are getting either sucked up or shooting off. Looks like most of them are just getting sucked up. Holy cow, Jupiter has a lot of moons. I didn't realize. I thought these were other planets. Nope, these are all its moons. So never mind. Only a small fraction of the moons are getting sucked up. That's not as fun as I thought it would be. Let's see what a supernova... If the sun went supernova, so a sun, when they get really old, they go supernova if they're big enough. And so this is what would happen if our sun went supernova. Let me read that thing. Our sun will never experience a supernova due to its low mass. It will eventually evolve into a red giant and then a white dwarf. I remember reading about that in school. However, in this simulation, a supernova is triggered in the sun, sending an expanding cloud of gas outwards to the solar system. This cloud could reach the Earth within an hour of the supernova. Within 6 hours, it has reached the orbit of Jupiter, and within 24 hours, the cloud is expanding into the outer reaches of our solar system. So, as they stated, every second is only about 2.5 minutes. So, this is showing you kind of like at kind of fast speeds what would happen. So it looks like it's already gotten Mercury in its gassy clutches. It's just about to get, what's the next one? Saturn? I know we're the third. We're Earth. So Earth just got sucked up, and now we're getting over to Mars. So, as they stated, our sun is not big enough to be a supernova. It's just gonna eventually shrink down into a white dwarf. But this is kind of what it would look like if it had. Ooh, pretty gas. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep clicking random tabs, and just see any that look interesting. What's a planet volatile test? See what happens. In the simulation, 28 planets orbit the sun in circular orbits, 14 Earths and 14 water worlds. Each would have a mass roughly 5 times that of the Earth's moon, and a higher concentration of water than the Earth. The sun's gravity pulls the volatile materials like water from nearby planets. The speed of this volatility loss depends on the distance between the planet and the sun. What? So this is just kind of testing, like, if there was another planet that was made out of water that was orbiting the sun at the same time, what would happen to it? I don't understand any of this, but this is pretty. This is a cool looking thing. Just kind of all the circles within circles and trails and whatnot. I feel like we made it orbits. Yeah, it'd be pretty lame.
Yes, agreed.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who had no idea what was going on there, so. Interesting. So, yeah, so in other words, you could just, like, sit and stare at this for 20 hours if you're real bored or something. Alright, let's find another one. Let's see. Black hole in the sun. In this simulation, the sun orbits a black hole that is 10,000 times more massive than itself. The sun's orbit is very eccentric and it takes it within the black hole's Roche limit. I don't know what that is. Dad probably did. At this point, the traditional forces. Ooh, our sun is breaking down. That's cool. Oh, it's an elliptical too. It's not. Oh, this is. I'm trying to spin the camera so it makes more sense, but this is just teaching me that. Oh, this is confusing. Oh, interesting. Look at that. This is where the black hole is, right here, where mouse is. And so we'll, like, get away from the black hole, but just not quite out of its grips, and we'll fly back in. And we'll get almost out, then we'll get back in. Huh. Interesting. Alright. Let's see systems. Let's see what What would Earth and 500 moons look like? Earth with 500 moons. Does that make sense to you, Ma? Do you understand what's going on here? Okay. I mean, I'll just hit play and... Oh, it's already playing. This is already
Interesting.
going.
I wish I understood some of this better. No, it doesn't, ha ha ha.
Well, that's that simulation. I'm gonna move on. That one's kind of not that cool. So, let's see. It's got constellations. Let's check out some Indian constellations. So these are constellations that Indian people would find in the sky. The root, the former undefeated one, the latter undefeated one. These are just lines. The gifted one.
Constellations are cool.
Yeah, this is cool. So this is like the constellations they see in the sky. Instead of like the Big Dipper, Little Dipper, they see the restorers of good. The embrace. Interesting. I guess they didn't care about those stars over there. Oh, more names. Second of blessed feet. The first of blessed feet. The prosperous one. The twin physicians of God. She who bears. Interesting. You should ask Steve about any of these. See if he knows any of their names. Western constellations. Let's see our constellations. Stuff I'm used to. Ah, Libra, Scorpius. Yeah, that type of stuff. Sagittarius, Vertigo. Booties? I'm a booties. Hercules. I'm a boy. Lyra. Definus. Yada yada yada. Interesting. Planets. Oh. You break it again? We can just end it, Ma. Like, I'm fine with showing you more, but at the same time, I don't really have anything else to talk about. I'm just kind of talking about my ass here, so it's up to you. I'm fine with ending it. I'm fine with keep going for a little bit longer. Totally up to you. I don't know which way you're going to message me. I expect you to message me via the streaming text when I'm streaming. So when I get text from you, I'm not sure which way, if you're hearing me right now, if you're not hearing me, what I'm supposed to be doing here. So interesting.
Thanks so much for showing me this. It's fun, but I'm going to go take care of my clothes now.
Okie dokie.
I'm glad you showed me this.
I'm glad I could show it to you too. So, normally I leave you and I show you that like stream is ending thing, but I think this time, just because it's kind of pretty, I'm just gonna find a cool simulation and I'll leave it on that screen. You can go at any time, Ma. This is just really doesn't concern you that much, I guess. But let's see what let's just end on the Milky Way. Milky Way's pretty. Here we go.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So I'll leave.
You can leave.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.